Hi, today we're going to talk about the elements. So I've got a little piece of paper here, and I want you to imagine for a second that you have scissors that are capable of cutting this paper into individual atoms. So you start cutting, and you cut, and you cut, and you cut, until you've cut the paper into individual atoms, and your eyes are somehow magically able to see those individual atoms, and you suddenly notice, oh, I've got different types of atoms here. So you start to sort them, and you sort them into groups of atoms of the same type. And so then you look at your different types and you realize that you have just discovered elements. So after this lesson, you should be able to define an element. So here's a definition for an element. Make sure you write it down in your notes. An element is a group of the same type of atoms. So there's lots of different elements that you are probably familiar with. So here are some pennies. Now, if you have a penny that's older than pennies made in 1982, then they mostly were made out of just copper. And so if you were to zoom in and look at that penny, you would see a bunch of copper atoms. And aluminum. So here I have some aluminum foil. You probably have used this before in your kitchen to do some cooking. Aluminum foil is made out of only aluminum atoms. Gold. Gold is an element. If you have a whole bunch of gold atoms, then it can be worth a lot of money. Carbon. So carbon is an element that is very, very well studied. It can make bonds in many different ways. And because of that, it actually is responsible for making many of the molecules and compounds that keep us alive. Most life is based off of carbon and the compounds and things it can make. That is why there's a field of chemistry called organic chemistry that is just studying the stuff that you can make out of carbon. And so that brings us to the periodic table. Now we'll cover the periodic table in greater depth later on. But for right now, I want to just show you a couple of the elements. We've got hydrogen here, helium, and as you look, you'll see that these numbers continue going up for all the different types of elements. And they go all the way up to 118. So there are 118 elements in all. So coming up, we're going to be looking at ways to help you memorize and learn about some of the symbols and the names of the elements. So to help you learn about the names and symbols of the elements, I have this bingo selector, and we're going to be playing bingo. And so I'll show you the bingo card in a little bit, but first I wanted to show you how the selector works. So it has a couple of buttons here, the shuffle button and the next element button. The shuffle button is to rearrange and randomize how your elements are organized. So you want to click that first. It will ask for authorization to run the script. So you just click continue and it'll ask for your email, and then you just allow the script to run. And from there, it will finish running the script. Then you can click next element and it will randomly select an element. So as you click next element, it will move through different elements. So if you get silver, then you would find that on your bingo card. And so it runs the script again, and you get zinc and it runs that. Then you look for that one on your bingo card. So here's our bingo card. If we were to look for, say, silver, we would be looking and seeing if we can find AG, because that is the symbol that matches the name silver. As it's not on there, we would not select anything. What if you had gold? Well, the symbol for gold is AU, so you just select it and then you're good. So you can switch between the bingo card and the bingo selector and see how quickly you can win the bingo game. So as this is a new skill that you are developing, I have a list of the elements that we would like to work at memorizing their names and their symbols. And so you may use this list to play the bingo game. You'll notice that some of them are highlighted in yellow. The ones that are highlighted in yellow are the ones that I will be putting on your test. So this will work two different ways. Sometimes I will give you a symbol on your test and you will need to give me the name. Other times I will give you the name and you will need to give me the symbol. And so work hard at memorizing those, and enjoy the bingo game.